Let's try that again. Welcome on in, everybody. Great to see everybody here. Hope everyone's having a fantastic morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you're watching from. sorry about the mic. I forgot mute the one microphone here. But we made it to the end, chat. We're almost done. We're at part 5 of 5 of the build. The build's practically done. We're going to be just doing some last minute, adding the spool holder, adding the filament sensor, doing the calibration, and hopefully getting a test print going on this thing tonight. I want to see this thing printing tonight. I don't know about you guys. I want to see it. I want to see it print some stuff. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. If I'm good now. Apologies for that. Again, I know that the YouTube stream's a little bit delayed. Hopefully it's fixed now. I got too excited. I forgot to mute my mic. That happens. Sounding good now? Nice. Nice. But welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. For those that are new to all of this, let me introduce myself really quickly. My name is Big Jano. I'm an engineer by day, but by night, I like to game. I like to 3D print and create awesomeness here on Twitch, over and on YouTube, a few nights a week. Welcome on in, everybody. Great to see everybody here. 3D Medic Vince, welcome in. RC Maniac, Andrew Rogers, good to see everybody here. Be back in 20 minutes. No worries, RC. No worries. I believe I don't have any. I shouldn't have any major issues tonight. Let's go that way. I shouldn't. And I did some stuff ahead of time on stream tonight, or before the stream started tonight. I actually got the little Wi-Fi antenna twisted in because that's like a 5-second thing. I also downloaded Prusa Slicer 2.6 onto my computer because I hadn't done that yet. We do have the flash drive that it gave us with the printer. We will use it for tonight. I know there's been hit or miss issues with these flash drives, so I might have a separate flash drive for later on. But I do want to see what's on the flash drive. There's other files and stuff like that. I'm sure there are. Did I remember? Did I remember to bring the Haribo? No, because they're gone. They are now completely gone. I ate the last of them yesterday. So I had to catch up from all the ones I missed. Am I not in the path of Icky heading to Florida? I mean, we're not in the direct path. We're going to be getting heavy rain and wind tomorrow, early tonight, or I guess late tonight, early tomorrow. But I'm not in the direct path of it. We're like off to the side, far east of it. So thankfully, shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, it might be a windy night and rainy night. And hopefully it stays clear of us for the most part. I know some people that are a little bit further north of me aren't as lucky, so hoping everybody that is in the line of that can stay safe, and hopefully no one loses anything important tonight. But welcome in, everybody. Good to see you. NLTMW, welcome in as well. Chat, let's recap real quick where we left off on, what was it, Sunday? Yeah. Sunday, we got all of this done on the extruder. We got the extruder installed and properly placed after figuring out the wire situation. We got the extruder assembled onto the front of the carriage. We ate Haribos outside of stream. And then we also took care of the bed assembly last stream. Getting the bed installed, getting all the wiring installed, attaching the wiring to the cable chain into the frame, and getting the 2 side panels, which you can see right there. It's looking like a printer, chat. It's looking really good. And all we got to do tonight on the sides you can't see are install the spool holder, install the filament runout sensor, connect like 2 more wires, plug it in, go through the calibration, and hopefully get some testing going. My goal for tonight is get an actual print going on this thing at some point tonight. And it probably won't be a 3-hour stream tonight since we have most of this pretty much done already. Which is good. But I'm excited. So, without further ado, let's just try to get this thing done and finally working. Because I want to make sure if there's any other issues that we run into, we can look at them, take care of them. And then we could call this build a success after a couple weeks of waiting for a part and waiting for just taking my time with this. And it's been a fun build. I will say it's been a fun build. It's been challenging. I will say it's been a very challenging build. for the most part. But overall, it hasn't been too bad. It's been a fun challenge, I will say. There have been some hiccups, you know, as expected. But nothing to really, other than the whole part issue that I had for a couple weeks with the LCD screen. But other than that, I mean, for me right now, I'm lucky right now. But hopefully that was the last of the issues, and hopefully we can just get this thing up and running and doing a good job. Oh, in case I'm not around when you do it, the instructions don't tell you. It may take it for this. Put a seal sheet when you do calibration. Okay, good to know. Thank you, RC. Also, should I put on the silicone sock on the hot end before I do that too? There's no step in the installation manual that says put on the silicone sock. But I don't know if I need to leave it off for when they do the load cell testing or the load cell sensor like activation, or what you want to call it, calibration. Let me know if I need to put that on before I do any of that, or just wait till after before I start printing. Socks up to you, user's choice. Okay. I'm going to leave it off for now. We'll leave it off for now, and then maybe I'll put it on after the fact, but I know some people don't like silicone socks. I know Prusa doesn't usually put them on. I know they gave you one with the printer. I'm hit or miss with them. They work in some cases. Sometimes they don't work at all. But anyway. So this is where we're at right now. Getting that filament sensor prepped. I have everything kind of already out. I took all the stuff out of the boxes. I have nothing left behind me other than the spool filament and the 2 steel sheets, the flex plates that they came with. We need one of those screws. We need the insert for the extrusion for that one little area where the sensor goes. And then we have the actual filament sensor. Although my sensor has 3 Bowden tubes or PTFE tubes sticking out of each section. So that's a little bit different, but not really. Use socks. Always bought socks ahead of time. Installing socks later is tougher. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is a good point. Maybe I will add it on there. I don't. When we get before I do any of the calibration, I might add it on, just to have it on there. Yeah, better be safe than sorry, right? All right, so we gotta put that little insert nut inside of the extrusion there. I think that one screw goes through it, and then you just have to plug in that cable that it goes through. So that's, again, this should all be fairly easy. It's going to take me longer talking and explaining it to you guys than it is to actually get me doing it. So let's just get it done, and that way we can continue and moving forward. The faster we get this done, the faster we can actually start trying to print with this. And I have the perfect filament to do the first test print on this thing. And I'll explain what that is a little bit later. All right, so I gotta get the filament sensor, which is this thing right here. Like I said, mine came with 3 PTFE tubes in all 3 spots. Obviously, I'm only gonna need the one. And then the backside, you can see it has there's a little tiny breakout board for it. Very, very tiny. It's hard to see. I know the screen's not focusing in on it. Very tiny. And then we need the one screw. We need a M3x12 RT, which is this. I have 2 left, and there's 1 spare. There we go. Come on, zoom in. Maybe. Anyway, you guys can kind of see it. Five wires, 1 power, 1 ground, 3 data, 3 Hall sensors. Oh, wow. A lot more complex than I had thought. Alright, and then I also need one of these. There's the silicone sock, by the way. You do get a black silicone sock for it. Each Hall sensor is 1 power, 1 ground, 1 data. Okay. Good to know. Where's my, that's for this is for the spool holder. What happened to my one nut that I needed? Oop. Grabbed it. I'm looking for the insert that I had. That's for the spool holder. Might put it there. Well, this is the M3NE. It says I get one spare of these, but I only have one left. And do you know why? Because I put it in already. Well, that's a great start. Quick sanity check. I just realized I put it in already prior to the stream. But anyway, so all we gotta do is get this in which by that I just got to do, so it goes in like that, and then one should be on the top, or actually no, one should be on the top with the PTFE on the right. So that doesn't look too bad. Except this screw looks way too small for this. Make sure I need the right screw. They don't take any weight gummy bears if you don't have the correct number of spare pieces left. That's okay, that's good to know. N312RT. That is what I got. So maybe it just needs to get in place. Maybe if I didn't stop dropping it. There we go. Let's get this thing in so I can move forward. Probably should, before I tighten it down, I'm going to connect that wire that's back here, just so it's a little bit easier to actually probably should have connected the wire before I did that, because that wire doesn't have a lot of slack onto it. Flip it around. There we go. We're good. Now we can get this installed. We're looking good. Not going anywhere. Number one's on the top. And we're good. All right. Next item up. Fun fact, on the second Filament FS sensor for extruder 4 and 5, there's an extra hole. They simply put a smiley face instead of a number. Oh, wow. How whimsical. All right, so now I got to connect the filament tube to that. And then into the first call to the rear filament sensor assembly. Okay. All the way in. Don't anticipate it being an issue. All right, Wi-Fi antenna. I already did that. That's back here. You guys can kind of see it. Already twisted in because I figured I could do that beforehand. Not a problem. We don't have to do any of this, so we're going to go to step 26, and that's going to be the spool holder. So we need the spool holder pieces, and then we need, there's actually a little hardware kit that comes with it. You can see this is just for the spool holder. There we go. An M5 by 85 screw and an M5 profile nut. And this is pretty long. Pretty long. But it's similar to the spool holder like I have in my Solo SB06 Plus in the background. Maybe I can zoom in out on the camera so you guys can actually see it. Maybe, maybe not. I can't reach back further. Jeez. All right, one sec. There we go. I figured that's just easier to do than try to zoom autofocus in and out. Just reset the camera. All right, so there's a nut and a screw. And then we need to do is assemble it. We got to put the nut on the extrusion until we can slide it up. The front support with the orange plastic cover on the front. So we got to put it on this one right here. Probably at the same height or around the same height as the spool holder. And then you put in that little piece inside the big piece, go all the way out, and then put that screw all the way in, and then screw that into the extrusion, I believe. That seems fairly simple enough. And then after that, I'm not sure what else we do from there. I think this is the last major step. This is the last hardware I have that we haven't touched yet. And there are 3 pieces for the spool holder. There is the holder base, the mount, and then there's a telescopic slider. So this thing's going to be able to slide out further. I don't know what the base piece, where that goes. Obviously, probably on the bottom. So insert the base holder into the spool holder slider, which, again, should be able to figure this thing out. Go. I think we were supposed to do it like that. Like that. There we go. And then the base goes on the bottom. I think it sits in place. Base piece isn't the best. Maybe it's not supposed to be like a snap fit. Maybe it's supposed to be like, you can see here, this part fits in pretty well. And that's not coming out because that's going to be an extender. But then there's this base piece. It's a little square with a little hole cut out, basically. It aligns with the extrusion groove. Let's see. Oh, there is a little bit. Okay. So I think that kind of fit. Oh, I see. So I think you have to put the nut on, then screw the base in. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, insert the spool holder base into the spool holder slider. The narrow part of the base should go in first. Push it all the way in, which we've done. Attach a spool holder to the spool holder mount, which is that, and then insert the M585 screw into this. Okay, so you have it doesn't snap into place, but you have to screw in the screw to get it completely locked in. And then I'm thinking from there you mount everything else onto the nut and go from there. Doesn't snap in, just friction-ish. Yep, sounds about right. All right, let's get this kind of on so it matches the profile of that. I guess it doesn't matter which, since this is a circle, I guess it doesn't really matter where that goes. But I got to put the nut on. And it doesn't really say where the nut goes, but I'm going to say right below that first bolt, right below that base piece. So like right around there. I think we should be fine. Let me put this in real quick. Go. That's not really going anywhere. At least the good thing with that is it looks like it can be adjustable once you loosen it up, so that's not a huge problem. I'm gonna put this on. Get the screw. There we go. Don't lose the screw. Go. Which screwdriver do I need? Oh, I need a torque wrench. Crap. I thought I left out a torque wrench, but I don't think I did. Put everything back after the fact. Let me go check. Let me check real quick. Make sure I didn't leave anything down here. Nope. I thought I did, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Cool. All right. I need my Allen wrench. It looks like I need the big thick one. So we haven't used it yet. I don't believe we've used this big thicker one. Yeah, this is we need Big Bertha for this last and final piece of the assembly. All right. So we got that. Let's get our base piece back on. That aligned. Why's that going in? There we go. Kind of have to hold it out a little bit. Did it again. Okay. Gonna move it up slightly. Tighten that down. There we go. Look at that. It moves, it rotates, kind of. It's similar. It's a similar mechanism on my SVO6 Plus, except this is a printed plastic piece right here, and then the one on this Solval is actually injection molded plastic. So I like that design. I really do. But I think, chat, I think that was like the final piece of this entire build. We got one more of these screws I'm going to clean up real quick. And then the last thing I have to do is put on ye old sock. I'm trying to, typical. I'm trying. So, let's try this again. Ye old sock. Come on, camera. There we go. All right, let's get this on. Figure out the way this goes. Looks like a pretty basic sock. Nothing too fancy. This thing's a little thicker than I thought it would be. I need pliers. It's also kind of hard to see, so I'm going to blind myself while I'm doing it. Easier to install now than when the block is all goopy with caked on filament. That's true. That's very true. I do like how there's a lip on the inside of this, so it makes it a little bit more snug. I do appreciate that. Let me get my tweezers, whatever I did with them. What's behind me, of course. Obviously don't want to screw up anything on the extruder. Be careful. There isn't a whole lot of room to get this thing on either. Damn. I might have to go around. Blind myself some more. It's hard to reach it. It's like close to the cooling part fan, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to really get on there. Almost. Dang. It's tight. Sorry. I'm gonna do a little pre-stretching of it. just to loosen it. There we go. I think I got it. Or at least I think I do. Don't want to continuously blind myself. Okay. Okay, where are my tweezers? Closer by closer, inching it upward. So far, this is the hardest part of the build tonight. All right, we're getting there. Getting around that hump. A little more. We're getting close. Flashlight. There we go. I can see it and not get blind by it. It's just this, it's this back corner right here. It's this back corner right in here that I'm trying to get reached over to. It looks partially on, but not quite all the way. Can't really see it from this side. Shouldn't have installed the spool holder yet. I need to grab it from the top and there we go, let's try this. It looks on to me. Massage it a bit to get in place. Okay. I think we did get it on. Give it a fancy little massage. That's kind of on. How far is the nozzle supposed to be sticking out, like, from it? I think I went too far up. Okay. I think, kind of. See if I can, nope. It's not bad, I just want to make sure it's not too lopsided. looks like it's coming, it's like in the way of the fan. Like a little bit. Maybe not. Yeah, it's coming down a little bit, which I don't want. Maybe we gotta rotate it. No, it's not. Okay, that does look a little bit better. Alright, I think I got it on. See much better from this side. Okay, I think I do have it on. Well, it's still in the way of the part cooling fan though, which I don't want. Is it supposed to be kind of near the part cooling fan? It looks really close. Like, let's see. I wish I could bring that camera up close so you guys can see it. Also, maybe not the light there. We don't have a ton of room left. That's the weird part. Hey Pez, Liz, welcome in. You can see brass, so it looks good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that like the back side of this isn't in the way of the part cooling fan. It looks all right. I'm going to try one more thing just to kind of push this up a little bit. Just try to see if it can go any further. I don't think it can. It just looks uneven on one side still. I'm just going to get my finger up higher on it. I think we're okay. I don't think I can get it. I don't think I can get it any closer. I don't think I can. Okay, I think we're okay. I hope I'm right. Well, if we run into any problems with thermal runaway, we'll know why. All right, I think we're okay. I'm gonna leave it like that. Hey, Royal Nomi, welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We literally just finished the last piece of this build. And now we get to turn this thing on and hope for the best and do some calibration and hopefully get a test print going. Maybe a test benchy, we'll find out. Let's get the next step going. I ran out of the Haribo gummies, so we're not doing the gummy bear step. All right, let's get it plugged in and let's hope for the best here. I'm gonna put the camera down so you guys can see the screen. My power cable. I am gonna put the bed sheet, the heat bed or the flex plate. I'm gonna put the flex plate on too before we start doing stuff. RC mentioned to do it with calibration. I'm gonna move the microphone over here so you guys can hear me. Go to the back real quick to plug this in and we get to go. Oh, there's one more cable I gotta plug in too back here. Does it say where that plug goes? Does it say where the plug goes for the extruder, the wire harness? Did I miss that? Because I forgot to plug that in. I'm trying to figure out where that goes. Okay, the tube. Alright. I did that. Okay. Does it say where to plug that in? I did this already. No, I did not plug in the extruder, and I'm trying to figure out... There's a thing in the back, but it doesn't seem to fit. I don't know why I missed that. I'm wondering if I'm guessing that's a plug on the back of the buddy box. It would have to be. Like, I feel like it should go in one of those. But it didn't specify to at that point. Filament sensor cable is already connected to the X-Buddy from one side, which we did that. Do we miss that step? Extruder and accessories. Step 15. Okay. Hey, Jesse, welcome in. Good to see you. 15. Oh, I must have missed this because I probably assumed it was with the. See, this is why you don't do things out of order, chat. So when I did the antenna, I probably skipped this step. Okay. Yep. Good call. Thank you. Okay, locate the XL rear cable management plug cover on the rear of the printer. Loosen 2 screws. No need to remove them completely. Push the cover right to the right and remove from the printer. Connect the one extruder cable to the upper slot named Dwarf 1. And then attach the cover, push it all the way to the right, tighten the screws. Okay, so I did miss that step. I need to get a... Looks like probably my Torx wrench. And then open that little panel up and then close back up. I don't know how I missed that. It's oh, it's No More. Oh, hey No More, good to see you. The new antenna mounts off this little plastic cover so they mix it in with the antenna step. Yeah, it's confusing. That's why, because I thought it was part of the antenna steps. That's why I skipped it, because I had the other antenna. Alright, let's go ahead and do this real quick. And then we can plug it in and turn it on. Well, you guys aren't going to be able to see it, so... I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, I see it. So there's an Ethernet plug in the back of it. I'm assuming that's for hardwiring the printer to the internet if you really wanted to. This is a dwarf one. I need a flashlight. And I gotta cover that back up when it's all said and done. There we go. So I can see what I'm doing. Didn't want that to happen. The PTF YouTube kind of gets in the way here. There we go. That on. Push that over to the side. Cover that up. And we're going to tighten the screws down. Yay! They're all good. Okay, now I can plug it in. Go, nice and secure. Might have to run this like around. Actually, I'm gonna run it underneath the table here. There we go. There we go. No magic smoke, which is good. Get my bed. I'm not sure what the screen's doing. It's on, but it's not showing anything. The blue light at the extruder is on. But down there's nothing. Unless that's supposed to be that way. But I'm gonna take a stab and say no. Let's go back and just try this again. Yeah. Oh, fan just turned off. Oh, there we go. Does it always take that long to boot up? Holy crap. Look at those sides. Look at this sheet, chat. Look how big this is. Uh-oh. Is it supposed to be flashing red? Looks like it's loading something up. I'm going to take a stab and say that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, I figured the red light of pain is probably not what I'm supposed to get. Unless I should just reboot it real quick and try again. Because it came, when I plugged in the thing in the back, the power was already on. Let's see, what's it say? Put the latest firmware on the USB and plug that in, then boot, just so you have the latest. Okay. So, what is the latest firmware for it? Does it tell me? Real quick, before I do that, I'm going to try... just going to try plugging it, turning it on, turning it back on again real quick, just to see if that does anything. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Well, at least I have an error message pop up now. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It says I2C send failed. HAL detected an I2C error when sending data via I2C. And I will say, at least there's a QR code, which is helpful. Let's read it. I'm wondering if something got disconnected or loose. Okay, so what it says on my phone, and I'll try to, let me see if I can find this on their website so you guys can read along. Give me 1 second. One seven three. Wait, no. 17311. Okay, let's read along together. On the original Prusa XL, the I2C bus is used for the XL body to communicate with the other printer components. There's an error in sending data from the XL body. The printer will show the message how to detect it. How to fix it. Restarting the printer is expected to resolve the error and is not expected to occur again. It's issues occur again. Download firmware necessary, the bootloader, and transfer it to your USB drive. Okay, so kind of what RC was saying. I'm going to download the firmware to the flash drive. And then plug that in and restart it just to see if that helps. We'll see if we go from there. So it says insert USB back into the printer. So do you need the USB stick in the printer the entire time? I guess, is that the thing? So it looks like it's on there. So maybe here's what I'm gonna do real quick before I do that. 4.7.2 is the latest. Okay, I'll flash the latest on there, and then we will start this up. My guess is that I need to have that plugged into the printer when I turn it on. Oh, you're good, RC. You're good. Hey, Rem, welcome in. It is alive. It is being a little fussy at the moment. We got what's cool about this, for those that just came, anytime there's an error in the printer, and we're having an issue, I think, with firmware right now. There's indicator LEDs down here. So right now it's flashing red and has an error pop up. There's actually a QR code on the screen that tells me what the error is and how to fix it. And that's what we're looking at right here. So we're trying to see what this is. But we're going to try to update the firmware real quick. Just going to duplicate that so I can get to the firmware section. I'm going to take a stab and say it's right there. I'm going to download 472 to the flash drive. Do I just copy that folder onto the flash drive, I'm assuming? But yeah, the printer itself is done. It's built. It's on. No magic smoke. I can't even fit it in one camera frame. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Just gotta get it to work. Then plug in USB stick and turn it on. Okay. A.bff file. Okay, so just copy that file. Gotcha. All right, so let's go there. Let's go downloads. I'm gonna extract it. Just gonna move that over. BBF. Okay. You are good. All right, so I'm gonna copy that. Do you want me to take out the other file, the other firmware file? Or can we leave that one in there? I'm guessing you want to take the other one out. BBF Buddy Board Firmware. Oh, I like that acronym. Delete the old one. Gotcha. Okay. Delete the old one. Let me add the new one first. Okay, and then I'm going to delete that one. Sometimes it's just a firmware issue. And this is why we use the SD card, or I guess the memory stick. This is the first printer I have with a memory stick. Okay. Let me extract the memory stick. I'm going to reboot the printer and see if that helps. I hope it does, because if it doesn't, we'll be trying something else. So I take it this needs to be in, I hope not the entire time. All right, let's try this again. Come on. Okay. Oh, it's telling me the new firmware is available. Flash or skip. I'm going to flash. The LCD works, so that's a good thing. All right, it's flashing new firmware. Can't really see it, but we're gonna. All right, so it's taking a second to flash the firmware. You can kind of see the little progress bar across the screen here. So does that memory card or memory stick have to be in the printer, like attached the entire time, or is that also? I mean, I'm guessing that's what you use to upload files to the printer, or like G-code. But if you need it, I'm guessing you need it to boot up every time? Or no, just maybe for the first time. Memory stick. I'll say it 100 more times typical if you mention it again. Alright, it is installing something. We'll find out what that is in just a second. You're not gonna fight me, bro. You're not. Alright, loading, installing stuff. Just want to get to the wizard so we can actually do some calibration on this thing. While that's doing that, we make sure the bed is the right spot. Like it is. The magnets on this thing are freaking strong as heck. Hey, it beats. It beats. All right, we did it. We got to step 2, the wizard, the Prusa wizard. Do you like to guide through the setup process? Sure, why not? The LED lights are working. Nice. Those are bright. It's doing the fan testing right now. We got green check marks for everything. Things are moving. Don't get your fingers caught between the bed and the steel sheet. I've done that on the Mark III. Yeah, it's a strong, it's strong magnets. All right, x-axis is green check mark. Now it's gonna go do the Y. Y is green check mark is good. This thing is, I will say, when it runs into the sides, it's loud. This thing isn't quiet. All right, now we're doing the Z calibration. I'll never understand how they got Seth Rogen to agree to using his likeness on all the Prusa material. All right. Z looks to be in good shape. Note the LED lights aren't controllable besides on and off at this moment. There are comments in code that need to fix that. Okay. Yeah, I know they're working on updating firmware soon to let you do different colors for the lights. I did hear that it's just gonna be on and off for a while. All right, load cell testing. Let's continue with that. Should be this. We just got through all that. We're now at load cell. So now this might be the part where it doesn't beep. So we need your help with the desk. We asked to tap the nozzle. Don't worry, it's going to be cold. Okay, let's do it. 3, 2. Okay. Load cell's fine. Even though I missed my finger missed the nozzle the first time. All right, we're doing leveling right now. Apologies for those LED lights. They're a little bright. Let me turn my light off. Let me turn my main light off. Startup isn't exactly quiet, but it's not bad once it runs. Okay. All right, everything's checking out. I did, prior to this, I downloaded Prusa Slicer 2.6. I don't know if 2.6.1 is the up-to-date one, but I just downloaded 2.6, and I imported just the stock XL profile for Prusa Slicer. It's heating up everything right now. Hopefully everything heats up correctly. Heating up the nozzle to 290C and 110C on the bed. We're gonna smell some nice fresh nozzle smell. I can imagine this bed taking a good couple minutes to heat up because of how big it is. Oh, that's cool. See the LEDs kind of dimmer down a little bit? That's interesting. All right, nozzle's heating up. Good stuff, good stuff. I can smell the nozzle. I can smell the nothing burning. I can smell the metal burning, or heating up, I should say. Not burning, heating up. Nozzle heater check. That's cooling down. The bed is continuing to heat up. It's at 56C right now. It's supposed to go to 110. I feel like that's going to take a little bit longer too. Unless you want to test the slicer as opposed to the printer, stick with 2.6 until 2.6.1 gets a full read. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think 2.6.1 had a full release yet. I just downloaded whatever the latest was on Prusa Slicer, which was 2.6. So we're just gonna use that for now. We'll use whatever's the latest and greatest, and then we'll go from there. But I guess while that's going, okay. I guess the bed's done heating too. Moved on to step 4, Wizard calibrate filament sensors. Okay. During the calibration filament sensor, you'll be prompted to use at least 130 centimeters of filament. Use the Prusa strip with your printer and hang it directly on the spool holder. We're not going to use the filament that we've got with our spool. I'm sorry, with our printer. We're going to use something else, chat. We're going to use... We're gonna use our... We're going to break it out. We've been waiting 2 years to use this. Our limited edition Prusa, our rainbow anniversary Prusa here. Roll number 474. We're going to use this bad boy. I've been waiting to use this filament for 2 years with this machine. And I've been saving this particular filament because this was a limited batch run, never made again. And we're gonna try this out tonight. Let's get it open. It is 2 years old, so I'm hoping it's not super brittle. I'm really hoping it's not brittle by this point. But you know what? This is a special occasion. This is a special occasion, chat. Our first ever filament going through the filament, or I'm sorry, going through the Prusa XL. We're gonna use some transition rainbow 474. Anyone like silicone gel? I don't know. All right, let's get this clipped and on the spool. I gotta find. Oh, I see what it's at. There we go. Okay. So I need to put filament in the filament sensor right at this point, or no? Okay. Okay, you're just calibrating the sensor. Okay. So is there any filament in the tool or side filament sensor? We want to say yes. Or do we not? Okay. Not insert filament in the side filament sensor until yet. Okay. So hit continue. Filament sense. Insert the filament through the side filament sensor into the extruder until the tool filament sensor detects filament. Okay. Let's do that. I'm going to keep loading until it detects it. Okay. Press continue. Remove filament to finish. Okay. That's kind of a weird step, I'm not gonna lie, and I just tangled my spool up by accident. Don't do what I just did, Chad. Do not do what I just did. That scared the crap out of me. Okay. Happy printing. Sweet. All right. Hold on 1 second. Okay. That was weird. Okay, so you're just detecting it through the sensor. Gotcha. Okay. All right. It looks like we are at the point where we're ready to print something. Yep, we did this step. Checking the heat bed installation, we make sure the heat bed is installed correctly. Using T10 screwdriver, slightly loosen all the screws. On the sides of the bed frame, a few turns are enough. Visit the menu control, move Z value to the lowest position. Leave the heat bed for a few seconds until it settles to its lowest position. While in the lowest position, tighten all screws using the T10 screwdriver. Okay. So we'll loosen all 6 of those screws, or I'm sorry, 8. There we go. Go down here. Well, I guess you wouldn't be able to see it from here. Do the fans just go auto on and off depending on temperature? Anyway, we're gonna check the heat bed installation, and then we'll be good to go. So there should be 1, 2. Let me just click on that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 8 screws. Okay. So we need a few turns on each. We're going to loosen them. Put the Z move axis into the lowest position. Leave the heat bed there for a few seconds, and then tighten everything down. Okay. And then from there, I think we can get a print going. So let's do that real quick. Okay. At least there's lights now. I can see things. I'm going to grab that picture up, though. Actually, I'm going to turn the light back on. Okay. Let's see. I gotta go all the way in the back. Is it the frame that I'm doing? so it's these spots right. It's these screws, correct? Like, it's hard to tell because it's not really. Okay, it is the frame. Okay, I didn't see that initially. It's hard to tell. Okay. I'm not gonna loosen these too much. We're gonna move Z. To the lowest position. Okay, it's at its lowest position. Alright. Clean everything back up. Let's do a star pattern here. Okay, one more to screw tighten. Good to go. All right. I think we're ready to print something. So let's go ahead and do. Let's do a benchy. Let's do a benchy. Let's slice it up. I have Prusa slicer open, but we made it through the entire manual. You move forward to that step when your semi arrives, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it was already lowered to the lowest position, so you know what? I'm gonna be safe than sorry at this point. So, all right, I'm gonna heat this thing up. I'm gonna preheat. I'm just gonna do PLA temperature. I am going to remove the SD card carefully. I'm gonna slice up. We're gonna go into Prusa slicer because I have it open. And we're just gonna use the generic profile. We're gonna use 0.25 layer line because it is a 0.6 nozzle. Where's my benchy? Yes, we're doing a benchy. I want to center it. That'll let me center it. Set the Prusa PLA. That's a good point. That's a good point. We're going to center that, if I can center it from there. Close enough. Doesn't need to be exactly centered. That's good enough. All right. Let's slice this up. The bed's pretty much heated. The hot end's heating up right now. Let's slice this bad boy up. Warning, detected print stability issue. Really? No, we're not adding splits. I do want to add a skirt to this, though. So we are going to add a skirt. We'll do 3 loops. And we'll do 3 millimeters from the end. I'm a skirt guy, so you're going to have to deal with that for those that don't like skirts. 51 minutes. Let's do it. We're going to download it to the Prusa XL 3D Benchy. There's a Prusa logo file on there. Okay, that's just for the firmware. Export. Oh, shoot. Okay, I unmounted. It says successfully unmounted. Alright. We're currently trying to heat up. It's still heating the hot end up. I'm going to turn the fan down because I think the fan is trying to heat it. Or cool it. Back real quick. The hot end's only at 170 right now. I'm surprised it's not heated up higher. Why isn't it heating? Is the question. Don't worry about preheating. Alright. Oh shoot, I need to load Filament, don't I? Yes, I do. Probably should do that first. Make sure it's loaded through the sensor. Okay. Getting there. For more. How's it coming out? It doesn't purge a whole lot when you go to purge more color or filament out. Took a minute. Yeah, and I don't have a mini, so I'm not as familiar with the screen and the firmware as others are, but okay. I think it's loaded up. Let's get my tweezers. Stringies. Alrighty. I'll get the camera set up because it's going to start from the top. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Kind of. There we go. All right. We're good to go. First print. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting experience. Slowly but surely. So why is the bed only heated up to 170? Should be 215. Or is that just for the probing? So on the screen it says absorbing heat. And there's a little timer. I'm not sure what that means. Warming the bed. It looks like right now all the points on all the segments of the bed are heated up right now. We shall see in a moment. The suspense is killing me. Hey Tripod, we're trying to print. We started a benchy and we're just waiting to see. We're going through the motions here. I started the print. It's doing stuff right now. Blue indicator lights are here, which would mean it's good, I guess. It's not bad. We had a red indicator light earlier. It says 16 more seconds of absorbing heat. Whatever that means. We're also using the anniversary rainbow filament we got 2 years ago for Prusa and honor this achievement. Looks like it's now probing different spots. Oh, you're right. It does look different. That's interesting. All right, now it's heating up to 215. That's an interesting startup process. I'm not going to lie. That's a little different than what we normally do. Saving power and time. That makes sense. I mean, this is why, you know, they think of these things that I don't normally think about. They usually think about when they're in their machines. So, we got a little more ooze coming out. Could probably grab that. Stringy bit. Hey Brian, welcome in. You're just in time for the first benchy on the Prusa XL. Hopefully. And momentarily. Alright. We got a layer. We have filament pushing out. I think. I see a first layer, chat. Let's go. I wish I had my other camera up and running. I don't. I can get it up and running. Let me see if I can get my other camera up and running. It's not on the belt, so we should be fine. Ish. Maybe not around there. Maybe not there. There we go. If that camera falls off, then it's my fault. It looks like it might. I'll get a better camera setup for that. This thing is tall. There we go. It's printing though. It's definitely shaking things up a little bit. It sounds like a freight train, honestly. Look at that, chat. We made it all the way to getting this thing printing. Through trials and tribulations, we did it. Even after a 2-week hiatus, waiting for a LCD metal tab. And so far, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. Alvaro, is that a Solvo SVO6 Plus behind the Prusa XL? It is. It is a SVO6 Plus. It's another fantastic machine. I've had it. I bought mine during the pre-launch, and it's been great. I've had a few little minor issues with it, but it's been a really solid printer. I really enjoy it. You know, it has a similar design aesthetic to the Prusa Mark III. It is a little bit taller and it is bigger. The only downside I have with that machine is that it is the leveling mechanisms for this machine are not super accurate all the time. So every so often you do get a first layer that doesn't look too good. You just have to re-level your bed every so many prints, and it's usually pretty good again. But other than that, it's been a fantastic printer. It prints PETG amazingly. It's a great printer if you want to do color swaps. TPU is amazing with it, direct drive. And I've done so much with it in the short time I've had it. It's definitely one I'd recommend if you're looking for a budget 3D printer. Honestly, it's pretty competitively priced for all the features you get with it. Here in Brazil, it'll take like 5 years until we can see a Prusa XL live. Oh no. Yeah, so we've been building this thing on the YouTube here for the last couple weeks. This is part 5. We broke this build into smaller pieces just so it's a little bit easier to understand. And we kind of went through everything and kind of went through it in the point of view of someone trying to build it. So, you know, I wanted to show the good, the bad, and the ugly with it. So this is why we did this live streaming series. And I'm just happy we did everything pretty correctly, it looks like. And hopefully we'll get a decent benchy out of it. So I'm just going to zoom in on that real quick. I'll get its own camera, or I'll get its own viewpoint for that camera. You can kind of see it. It's looking fairly good. I know it's hard to tell from being up close, but it's first couple layers don't look too bad. Oh, you bought one? It's arriving tomorrow. Nice. What, the XL or the Solvo? If you bought the XL, that's awesome. SVO6 Plus, wish we can import some of the Prusa XL without being pro. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, enjoy the Solvo. I actually did do a review video on that printer, so if you are interested in looking at that, just to get my insight on it, it's on the YouTube channel here. I am going to be doing more content with that printer. I've done some just other projects with it in the time being, but there are some things down the road I may want to look into, maybe upgrading on the machine. I know I want to get a different flex plate machine or flex build plate. I don't mind the textured plate, but I want to get like a smooth sheet, like a Wham Bam plate. That would be nice too. And I know there's some other mods and upgrades too that I know people have been doing. I know, I think Zombie Hedgehog did put Clipper on his. I don't know if Clipper's something you're interested in or not. I haven't done anything with Clipper on any of my machines, but I guess that's a thing now. Oh, you saw it? Just checking you haven't changed your mind. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you watching that video, and I appreciate you coming by the live stream too. We're trying to do a lot more live streaming here on the YouTube as well, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. We do also live stream on Twitch, which we do a lot in terms of, you know, we primarily work on projects over on Twitch, but we do have printers running a lot of the time when we're over there, and it's just a fun time over there as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested. All right, let's see. We're looking good on the screen. So the screen's really cool on this. I can kind of show it. Let me just go back out here. So on the screen down here, it actually shows the model. It shows the percentage done. It shows the time remaining, and then it shows on the model like where it's at in terms of what layer, and like highlights it orange, which is super cool. Zombie would Clipper his kitchen sink if he could. I mean, hey, some people are in the Clipper. I haven't done anything with Clipper yet, and maybe down the road I will, but not anytime soon. I don't mind Marlin. I enjoy Marlin firmware. I'm used to it from in the 4 years I've been 3D printing. I will stick with it for now. I'm thinking configure my swivel with Sonic Pad and see if it's worth the challenge. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know the Sonic Pad. I know a lot of people use that. So I actually, behind both those printers, I have an FL Sun Super Racer. And I know the V400 came out with a Clipper pad screen, basically. That's one printer that if I did anything with Clipper, I would configure it with my Delta. Just because my Super Racer doesn't have Clipper on it right now. But because of how fast that can print, I can see that being useful. For sure. Check the control knob wants to see more detailed print info. Okay. Oh, it's just a percentage, not coloring by layer. Oh, okay. I got excited there for a second. Oh, the LED came back on. Oh, that's good. I do like the LED lights on here. Especially on my darker streams, it definitely helps. Like, I'm going to turn the light back off, and you'll see. That's so much nicer, just to be able to see things, and not have to hold a flashlight up there. Also, pay no attention to my triangle lights being weird right now. I think one of the connections got loose again. We got 40 minutes left in the Benchy print. We're probably not going to stick around for that entire time because it's already 10 o'clock. We're pushing about 2 hours right now. We'll stay here for a few more minutes. We'll chat a little bit, see how this thing's doing, and then we can kind of wrap up the stream tonight. Because once this is done, Thursday night, I guess will be our next live stream. We're actually going to be going back over to Twitch on Thursday. So for those that are YouTube purists, I apologize. We're gonna switch over to Twitch on Thursday night. Kind of go back over on that side of things. We'll be doing more test printing on Thursday night with this, and then for those that are in the know on the Twitch streams, Thursday night is community marbles on stream races. It's community marble racing night, and Thursday night will be the last one for a little bit. I'm gonna say that Thursday's stream will probably be the last stream for a little while, and I will explain why on Thursday. So you don't want to miss it. If you guys are into marble racing, check the Twitch channel. The Twitch link is in the channel about section, I believe. There's a link to it. Go check it out, twitch.tv/BigJano. We'll be doing some test printing over there on Thursday, and we'll have community marble races. Sometime in September, the plan is still to do... September is our anniversary on Twitch when we've started streaming over there. Our 3-year anniversary, to be exact. So we'll be doing a 3-year anniversary stream at some point in September. I don't know when. I have some stuff going on right now. And again, that I'll explain on Thursday, too, what's going on and why we're kind of taking a break from streaming after Thursday for a little bit. But yeah, you don't want to miss it. You want to be there. Hey, K2 Kevin, welcome in. It is printing. It is indeed printing. Let me go back to my main camera here. I'll just zoom in on this real quick. I don't have this on its own screen yet, so let me do this. There we go. So it's a little bit better quality camera. It's actually, that camera's actually behind me right now, so I can wave. Excuse me. Take a sip of water real quick. Am I going to be at ERF? Probably not. I don't believe I'm going to be at ERF this year. I believe I have a prior, I have a family event going on that weekend, I think. I'm like 99% sure I do. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be at ERF, unfortunately. As much as I want to be at ERF this year. But yeah, I will definitely miss everybody. Earth seems to be like a really Earth seems to be very exciting this year. Like there's gonna be a lot of excitement with it. Looks like there's gonna be a ton of vendors this year compared to last year, which sucks because I really did want to go to Earth, but I think I'm gonna be missing out on this year's Earth, and I missed out on last year's Earth too. So it's a little bit of a bummer for me. I'm missing 2 years in a row. I will, however, be for sure going to Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Festival in Colorado next spring. I've already kind of planned in my mind I'm going to be out that weekend of that event, so not worried about that. Murph, I should be at Murph, all things considered, next year. But yeah, Earth, unfortunately, I don't believe I'm going to be at. Like I said, I think I have some other events going on that weekend. Good events. I mean, nothing bad, but I just think that weekend just did not work out for me. But I will be at the next event, of course. Maybe not. I lied. I probably won't be at Smurf, the London Rep Rat Festival, the Sanjay one. I won't be at that one, but that would be a really cool one to go to, though. I would love to. I've never been to England. I've never been over the Atlantic, so if any companies are out there and want to sponsor me, my email is in the about section. My business email. Tickets are available for Irma already. I know they're available for like general admission. I don't. Justin mentioned me the maker tables are not available yet. He's told me that they will be hopefully by either the end of the month or sometime next month for maker tables and exhibitors. So for those that want to go and exhibit, FYI, be on the lookout for that. I think they're charging for tables this year. Just as another heads up, I think $20 a table. I think I saw. Maybe I'm wrong. If Justin's in chat, you can quote me on that. But it's gonna be a fun event, though. They're gonna have double the space they did last year. For those that went to Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Festival last year, it was a really fun time. It was a really good time over there. Any idea what the wait time is for the XL now? They're still clearing years of backlog, right? I do not know, to be honest with you. I ordered mine, just as a full disclosure, I ordered my printer on the day one pre-order launch. So, like, within the first hour or two that they had the pre-orders here in the States, in North America, it was within the first hour or two that I put my pre-order in. I did want to get the 2 tool head version, but because of the wait time, additionally for the single versus the single head, I decided just to go with the single tool head for now. Eventually, I would like to upgrade to having the second tool head on there. But yeah, just as so everyone's understanding, I ordered mine on the day one of pre-orders. So from what I understand, it seems like I don't know if everybody that ordered on day one has gotten their machine yet, but I know a good chunk of people have. But again, I don't know their entire backlog system. I don't know what's next on the queue. I know it's been a very unorthodox launch, to say the least. I'm sure many. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, waiting 2 years for this machine isn't ideal, but it is. You know, I'm happy I got my machine. I'm happy it came here in one piece, despite the couple issues I had. For quality control purposes, and I can kind of get into that at another time. But that's kind of where I guess that's where my only downfall was with this entire build. Was I had to wait 2 weeks for a part to come in that should have been included in the printer. But with that being said, in terms of actual ordering to getting my printer, I got the notification mid-July that my order was ready. Actually, I didn't get a notification actually for mine. I had to go onto the website and see if it was ready, because a couple of people I knew had their orders ready and they ordered at the same time I did. So then I went ahead and finished the order mid-July. 2 weeks later, I got it at the very end of July. I got the whole shipment at the end of July, and end of August, 1 month later, we finally have it built. Oh my god, this table's shaking. That's not necessarily a good thing. I do need a more sturdy table for this thing. This thing is shaking quite a bit. And we should see if we'll definitely take a look at the benchy once it's all said and done. At least I will. I'll probably take some pictures, post it to X. Over on X, I'll probably post maybe this to Discord too, just to see where things are at. But I want real quick before we get too far into it. I just want to look at the slicer real quick. So in the 2.6, they do have the XL. They have different nozzle sizes, which, by the way, it does come with a 0.6 nozzle for those that don't know. They also gave me a V6 nozzle adapter, which I have not used. I mean, I didn't install it on here, but if you have a V6 nozzle you want to use, you can use it with the adapter they give you. And then also, they've updated the configuration wizard with new printers. The Solval SV06 Plus now has, it's in beta, but for those that have a Solval SV06 or an SV06 Plus, I would suggest maybe taking a look at the new Prusa slicer or the latest version of Prusa slicer, and maybe try and play around with that. And let me know how if you guys play around with this. For those that have a Solval, let me know either in our Discord or on X how it is. I might start playing around with this beta version of the SV06 Plus. So I just noticed that tonight when I was installing the XL configuration, and that got me excited because initially I had to try to make a Solval. I had to take a Prusa Mark III profile and jerry rig it to get it to work on the SV06 Plus initially. So with that having its own profile now, I might try to play around with that when I have a chance. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to play around with it anytime soon, but something to keep in mind if you have that machine. But yeah, I just realized too, the build play on this thing is huge. It's 360 by 360. I don't think I mentioned that before. I don't use Prusa Slicer too often. My experience with using Prusa Slicer with non-Prusa machines has not been the best. I will be honest. So I've mainly stick to Cura for most slicing on my other printers. But obviously for this printer, I will be using Prusa Slicer more or less just to, keep it consistent. And I'm sure there's people that have been trying to configure their own profiles. I'm sure there's a speed profile on here, ultra fast benchy mode. I don't know what you want to call it, but it seems like, quality, speed, detail, draft. I'll have to play around with these once I have a chance to. The next test print I'm probably going to do is just that first layer across the entire bed to see that first layer, how well it is. Because that's one of the things they claim on this machine is that consistent first layer all across the board. So that would probably be my next print I do on this. It's just a very large one layer. What's X? I'm on Twitter. Twitter X. Twitter. I don't know what you want to call it. I want to call it Twitter, but I know it's not technically correct anymore. So yes, formerly Twitter. According to the person who added the Solval configs to the Prusa Slicer, they said Solval provided the configs themselves, and that person simply made the addition. Okay. So that still is that sounds to me that, it's not fully tested yet. But hey, that's something if you want to try out, you can. Hey, John Strand, welcome in. It is printing. We are printing a benchy. I know, a benchy. But it's looking good so far. And we're also using the anniversary rainbow filament that they made 2 years ago in limited run in honor of the first XL print here on this printer. So it's exciting. We finally got everything to run. We had a quick little firmware issue we had to correct before we got everything turned on. But other than that, no major issues getting it calibrated and up and running. Also, by the way, John, hope you're in Florida, right? Hope you're staying safe with the impending storm. Make sure you clean the bed well. Yeah. Oh yeah. Our Mark III at work, one fingerprint will derail the entire print. I have to wipe those beds down We have a water. Oh, actually, maybe it's not. It's like a Clorox, like Clorox liquid. I'm sorry, Windex. We have a Windex solution that we have a little bit of water diluted into it, and we use that between every print and clean the bed. And normally it works 99% of the time. Twix. That is a good name. So then the left side of it's left Twix and the other side's right Twix. We've had a little bit of rain this evening. I guess most of our rain's supposed to be coming in the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. But I'm far enough east. I'm East Orlando, so I don't think we're gonna get super terrible conditions. We're probably gonna get some rain and wind. But considering I'm not north of like Gainesville where you're at, you might have a little bit worse weather up there. So hoping for the best for everybody, obviously. But I think we will be. I don't think we'll be that bad. Now I say that now, but I hope it doesn't do like a shift over to the right overnight and just cross the state. And that would not be good. But I do have supplies regardless, and I am prepared to. It's not my first rodeo. It's been fun, but I gotta make sure Mini-Me gets to bed. Have a good night, all. Hey, thank you so much, Andrew Rogers. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night. We're gonna be wrapping up here soon anyway, ourselves. It says we have 26 minutes left. Maybe we just pulled it out for 26 more minutes. I mean, I that's kind of teasing, don't you think? I do have lots of sandbags. I made sure to it was a couple years ago, after one of the hurricanes, I got like 15-20 sandbags and I have them in my garage. So whenever there's a storm, that like a hurricane type storm, I just keep them in my garage and I can prep down when I need to. I buy like cases of water all year round and stockpile like a hoarder. So I'm not rushing out at the last second to buy water and other supplies. You make that mistake once. When I first moved down to Florida like 6 years ago, I made that mistake, and never again. Trying to find stuff. I think was it Hurricane Irma. I think it was. I was driving around the gas station like at 10 o'clock at night, the night before the storm, looking for water and other supplies. So. I only make that mistake once. We have a whole house generator, runs off city gas. Oh, that's good. Weather up here north of Buffalo is good. Sorry. Ooh. I'm jealous. I have, my brother-in-law is from Buffalo originally. Big Buffalo sports fan. May have been stuck there on a Greyhound the one time on my way to Tallahassee. Ooh, stuck in a Greyhound would not be fun. I've been in a Greyhound bus like maybe twice in my lifetime, and I regretted it each time. 0 times I recommend a Greyhound bus. There we go. Is the XL louder than the Mark III? I would say it's slightly quieter than the Mark III, but not by much. You're still hearing the motors, and I mean you're still hearing a good amount of things. But they don't have the high pitch whine of some of the stepper drivers that the Mark III has, or at least the Mark II and a half had. I don't own a Mark III. I use one at work. But from just what I'm hearing right now, it's really not. I would say it's a little bit quieter. It's not silent by any means. It makes more rumbling, grumbling noises than it does like whining. But yeah, the motors are louder than the fans. The fans are actually fairly quiet. You can hear them. You know they're on, but they're not. They're not like the what is it? My Solval? No, my Solval has loud fans. My Delta printer also has loud fans. But that's for, I guess that's a good reason though, because you know the Delta's printing super fast. It needs that air to cool down the filament pretty quickly. So that kind of makes sense. But yeah, those fans are loud in comparison to this. Let me see if I can wait. Let me see if I can move the microphone. Maybe we'll be able to hear it. I don't know how well you can hear that, but let's just listen in. I feel like you hear more from the belts than you do from other things. Let me fix my microphone there. There we go. Yeah, you can hear the sharp movements back and forth with the belts. That's definitely noticeable for sure. Can't hear your sound too well because my XL's printing on the other side of the room, so not sure what I'm hearing. Let's see. Is it louder than the Solval? I want to say no, actually. I think it's still a little bit quieter than the Solval. The part cooling fans on the Solval are really loud. The X and Y motors and the stepper drivers on the Solval are actually fairly loud. Despite being 2209 drivers, the Z-axis driver is silent on the Solval. But yeah, I would say, this probably has more vibration and more shaking than it does noise. But that's also probably because of my table not being... This is a makeshift... This is literally a coffee table that has, like, spools of filament below it to kind of keep it from swaying. So that could be part of the issue too. But, yeah, it's really not the loudest machine. You'll definitely notice it's on, and you'll definitely know it's printing. It actually sounds more like an industrial machine than it does like a hobbyist 3D printer. You got two Mark IIIs and not too bad nose. Got two Mark IIIs, not too bad noise-wise. Yeah, the Mark III is not terrible. I mean, you can hear the stepper drivers and the movements from those. And they're not quiet by any means, but it's not too terrible. I mean, I don't have, like I said, I don't have a Mark III here to compare it to, but in terms of my other 3D printers I have, I would say this one probably falls underneath. I would say my Delta printer is probably the quietest of the four, followed by this one, and then my Solval, and then my Anycubic Mega X is the loudest one. My Anycubic, my almost 4-year-old Anycubic printer, actually it's 3.5 years old. That one is loud because it still has the A4988 drivers. It was built back in 2020, so that was before they actually gave you quiet stepper drivers on parts and machines. That thing is still in my closet. I have not had a chance to fix that up yet, and I think it might wait a little longer for that. I'm trying not to get rid of it right now. I do want to utilize it, but I just I haven't had the time to do anything with it. XL sitting on one of those foam tiles like they use for kids to play on. It's in the bedroom next to mine, sleeping fine. If I listen, I can hear it a bit. Well, that's good to know. I'm definitely going to be looking for some vibration suppression for this machine. Once I move it to its permanent home and like spot in here, that's actually not a bad idea. Getting some like either like a foam panel to sit underneath it, or I know the Mark III people buy at like Home Depot or Lowe's like the little concrete squares to put underneath. It's flat level, and I guess it like helps keep everything level and also helps with vibration. Something like that would be great for this machine, and I'm definitely gonna look into that too once it's done. Or I'm sorry, once I have the capability to. All my printers are quiet because they're turned off. Yeah, I mean, my printers have been fairly quiet for the last couple days. I really haven't been I haven't started any huge projects yet, and I probably won't start any newer. Probably won't start any new projects right now, and I'll explain why on Thursday. Yeah, I've been just kind of doing little things here and there. Some little small projects. Last month we did. My dad's in a band. I made a giant multicolor logo sign of his band. What else did I do? Done some other just little things. Like we did some testing with the fixed drive filament we got in the other day. The tricolor red, blue, green. This is a little fidget skull from Clock Spring 3D. For those that are familiar. Three in one color filament, really nice. We did some stuff test printing on the Solval. It's actually that filament's still sitting on the Solval printer. It's still in the film and the extruder. Also here, this is their blue, green, purple. There is a code on our. If you go on the YouTube short that we did on this, there's a YouTube code for. Or there's a link to their website. You can get, I think there's a code for 10% off. But anyway, but like stuff like that, like that's the kind of stuff we've been doing lately. We haven't been doing anything bigger with it with my printers in a while. But again, Thursday I'm gonna be explaining kind of what's going on with me, my IRL stuff, and where we go from here, because I do have some stuff coming up that. Might be taking some time off for so. Grab my decimal meter for about 1 millimeter away. XL's between 53 and 57 decibels while printing. 65 to 70 during travels. That's honestly not terrible. I've seen worse. Paper stones and a foam pad. Something people do a lot. I've not tried it yet. Yeah, I've seen that a lot, especially with the Prusa Mark IIIs, for sure. Great content, man. Leaving now. It's already almost midnight here. Oh, wow. Keep following your content. A lot of useful information. Oh, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate that. And thank you for the kind words. We're trying to do a lot more YouTube content here for sure. As well, continuing over on our live streaming channel over on Twitch. But yeah, definitely thank you for coming by. Have a great rest of your night. Yeah, I hope to see you soon. Never get tired of your Prusa XL here in Brazil. We love 3D printing. Absolutely. Chat to you later. Stay safe. Hey, no worries, John. Have a great rest of your night as well. Stay safe. We got about, it says 14 minutes left. It said 10 a minute ago. We're already on the hull of the benchy, so I don't think we have too much left. We're getting near the end. I kind of want to see this to the end. It's not looking bad, though. My printers get loud when the hot end fan starts to get clogged with dust. I have to replace them every year. Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, a couple of my fans on my older Anycubic got that way, and I had to like get a toothbrush to like scrape all the gunk out. I ended up replacing them because the fans those fans don't typically last the longest. They're pretty high-end consumable. And I'm honestly surprised. Speaking of fans, I'm surprised Prusa didn't go the route of I forget the name. The one fan that everyone uses on their computers. Those brown fans. I forget the name of them. But the Mark III we have at work has one of those giant brown fans. The ones that everyone loves, but then they actually don't really do anything. Yeah, exactly. The ones that don't have any airflow whatsoever. Yeah, they're more. Everyone loves them for some reason, but they are like they're not the best fan to use for whatever reason. I forget. If someone knows the name of those fans, let me know, because I know what they are. They're highly used in PCs. Noctura, yes, thank you. Yeah, the Noctura fans. People love those things. There we go. People are obsessed with the Noctura fans. I don't know why. Other than the fact that they're quiet. But they run them slower and the blades are angled for quiet more than airflow. Gotcha. Hey, Project R3D. For some reason, YouTube refunded my $5 gift memberships last time. Oh, that's odd. I'm not too sure what. I'm not sure what that's about. Huh. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why YouTube did that. The memberships and stuff are all fairly new to me. We just enabled those like a couple weeks ago. So if anyone knows why that happened, please let me know, because I can try to hopefully have that not happen again in the future. But I certainly appreciate, always appreciate that, though. Thank you so much. I remember the fans before Noctura came along. They were noisy. Vaguely. I don't remember too. I've only been in the hobby for like 4 years now, so those might have been before my time, but. Project R3D, you did not have to do that. Thank you. Gifting 10 memberships. Holy cow. Well, thank you so much. Didn't it used to say who they gifted the memberships to? Maybe that was just a Twitch thing. But seriously, Project R3D, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships out to the community. That is greatly appreciated. And that absolutely helps the content, helps keep the hobby going. It helps, my expenses. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Where are we at benchy-wise? We got 9 minutes to go. We're almost done with the first benchy. Look at that. By the way, this is the Rainbow Prusament. The anniversary Rainbow Prusament that they only made 500 spools of. I bought this 2 years ago. I got the signed autograph from Joseph Prusa himself. I kept the filament for this long. I told myself whenever the XL comes out, I'm going to use this filament for the first print. 2 years later, here we are, printing a Benchy on the XL, finally, after many weeks of trials and tribulations. Yeah, so it's a very gradual transition rainbow. It's not like some filament companies that have like instant color transition. It's a very it's hard to see from here, but on the spool itself, like you'll see one top layer like a one color, and then the next top layer is another color. So like this is a yellow. The next layer, the next color coming up, it would be like a green color. But yeah, you would have to print something big to see the color transition. And so what I'll probably do some test prints with this filament. I'm gonna be definitely doing some bigger test prints to see if I can get color transition good enough. But also just to see how nice the bigger prints come out with too. But yeah, it's right now it's more like a light yellow. And this is also, by the way, this is also just a stock Prusa XL 0.6 millimeter profile. I'm using 0.25 millimeter layer height right now, and whatever the stock configuration in Prusa Slicer 2.6 is. So that's what we're currently using right now. Haven't done any changes to it other than adding the skirt to the bottom. That was the only modification I did to the slicer. Which nozzle size do you all like to use best? I have a Revo 6 and use the 0.4 and the 0.25. The most rarely I use 0.6 or 0.8. I use 0.4 more or less for most of my stuff. I have kind of delved into the 0.8 nozzle. I had a 0.8 nozzle in my Anycubic Mega X a while ago. I had a couple projects that needed the larger nozzle. Most of the time I still use a 0.4, but honestly I would probably stick with a 0.6 for me is kind of the sweet spot I like. Having the larger layer height capability for me, I think kind of sells, especially for a bigger printer like this. I still don't know in today's day and age why like the Solvo SV06 Plus, my Anycubic also just came with a 0.4 nozzle attached to the printer. Prusa actually listened to the feedback of the community and gave everybody 0.6 nozzles off the bat, and I thank them for it. I wish every company at least put a 0.6 on, because here's the thing. Even if you have a 0.6 nozzle, you can still print at 0.2 layer height and still do the same quality prints you can get with a 0.4. But having the 0.6 millimeter nozzle just gives you that much more option to print larger things quicker and larger layer lines. But I know some people like the finer detail nozzles, like the 0.25. If you ask our friend Deuce Falchion, he has all the thick 1 millimeter and 1.4 millimeter nozzles. At Murph, my Deuce Falchion had the 1.4 millimeter nozzle on his 1 Delta, which was pretty badass to see. So yeah, I mean, I like. I'm a fan of the bigger nozzles before the finer ones, like the fine detailed ones. Practicality wise, I like to stick with 0.6 if I can, but 0.4 is what I use for like 90% of my printing. 0.8's interesting. I've used the 0.8 nozzles. You have to dial it in a little bit, but if you want thick layers, 0.8's like the good starting spot for thick layers. All right, we are 4 minutes away from the first Benchy being done on this machine. Chad, I'm excited to look at this Benchy. It's gonna be fun. And while I have everybody here, I do want to thank everybody, for not just being here tonight, but being here for the entire build series for this Prusa XL. It's been a long YouTube series. We did 5 2+ hour long streams just trying to get this thing built from the ground up. And without you guys being here, without the support through the chat, helping me out along the way, getting this thing built up, I would not be anywhere close to being actually done with building this thing if it weren't for you guys. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for being here, contributing to chat, answering questions if I have them while I'm building the thing. And just thank you for coming along for the ride. I appreciate you guys being here and to see how this thing came about. I wanted to do this build series here on YouTube just to give you guys an idea what to expect if you guys are still waiting for your machine, if you have a kit, what the build process is like, what it's realistically looks like, certain spots that are maybe a little bit more difficult than others. I kind of wanted to give everyone that realistic sense of building. I'm not the most... I don't do a lot of printer builds. Like, I've built printers before, but not... you know, I've done like this, like partial assembly kits. Like, I haven't built one from scratch. Like, I never had an Ender 3 where you had to build it from the ground up, basically. So this was my first Prusa too. This is my first Prusa printer that I own. And because this was a build kit, for sure, this was the first time experiencing like a Prusa style build where they're a little bit more detailed, a little bit more complex. But you know what? Taking our time, getting through it little by little, and we have almost a done benchy. Now, RC, I'm hoping, you know, after a few prints, I don't have any issues with my bed like you did. But I'll keep an eye out for that. I like to print slower so I can avoid having to shop with the girlfriend, do the color changes I have to do. Gotcha. Yeah, so the Soval in the back, the SV06 Plus is a really good color swapping printer. It has firmware enabled in it, so it can actually pull out the filament. You can put new in. The Delta printer in the way back, you can't see it's on the floor. That one's not the best for color changes, but it can print fast. If you want something done pretty quickly, the Delta is a good go-to. The Soval is fast, but it's not super fast. So, I mean, it's like 80 millimeters per second is like the average speed on the Soval for PLA. So it's not too bad for that. It's still a little bit slower. My Anycubic is super slow. It's like 50 millimeters per second max. It can't go any faster than that because it has the older board. It has the older control board, older drivers. Honestly, I'm not sure why I still hang on to it, to be honest with you, but I do because it still has a couple good parts in it. It has a Meanwhile power supply, which you can't get anymore easily with these printers. It's a solid quality machine. Everything still works. Nothing's really damaged. I did have to add new firmware to it. I did add a new extruder to it. I'm trying to think what else I added to it. I made a couple modifications to it. But nothing crazy out of the ordinary. All right. Let's take a look at the last few layers here. The benchy, we're just about done. The first test print on the Prusa XL. We made it through. Heat the whole bed to pet G temps. If it doesn't restart itself, then you should be fine. Any issues, contact support. You're paying for it. Use it. Okay. Good to know. All right. Now we're going to lower the bed all the way down. Or at least I think to a point. All right. Sorry about the disconnection there. OBS just kind of blipped on me. Apologies if it got disconnected. Chat, let me know if you guys are okay, if you guys can still hear me. I don't know what happened to OBS. OBS, I think, just blipped on me for a split second. Apologies. I love the green indicator lights down here. And we got our print. It's not bad looking. And the bed's and the cool thing is, like, the corner of the bed here, it's warm, but it's not super hot because it's only heating up the middle part. It has some radiation heat from over here. I shouldn't be touching the bed with my finger too much, but didn't see it disconnect. Okay. It popped up on my screen. It said OBS disconnected. I just wanted to make sure, like, my stream didn't freeze. All right. Okay. It tried to start up again. I accidentally clicked the restart on the screen. Don't want to do that again. All right, let's see if I can pull this off. Is that 45C? There we go. All right. Let me go back to my main camera so you guys can actually see what's going on. All right. Not terrible. I mean, it's not a little bit of stringing. Let me go to my... trying to hold it up so you guys can see it. Maybe. Not too bad. You know, maybe this camera will be a little bit better. There we go. Not too bad. It's a benchy. It looks all right. You can see a little bit of stringing in there. But honestly, chat, it doesn't look bad. I think because the filament's 2 years old, so I do have to take that into account. But chat, we got ourselves a benchy that looks pretty darn good. Cooling looks good. I don't see any cooling issues. I know this camera angle is not the best. I don't see any cooling issues. You can see that first layer doesn't look too bad. Actually, first layer looks pretty darn good. There we go. Hey, Desert Racer, NM Desert Racer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for the info. I appreciate it. And thank you for coming by tonight. I'm glad you were able to enjoy the stream. I'm glad we were able to get this benchy printed. If I can maybe show it on the screen, I can maybe show you a little more detail. My camera would like to... There we go. Wait for it. There we go. Well, we had it for a second there. Come on. All right. Well, you can kind of see it from there. First layer doesn't look bad at all. Cooling looks good. Layers, I'm trying to see layers wise. I don't see, I mean, there's a little bit of stringing inside of the middle part, the hull. I don't know, you can see maybe a little bit of the stringiness. You can make, I don't know if you can see it or not. The camera's not wanting to auto zoom right now. There is a little bit of stringing. Just a tad. You can see it there a little bit. Just a little bit in the middle. But honestly, this isn't a bad benchy. I would call this a successful benchy. I don't see any cooling issues. I really don't see much in terms of like vibration or any issues on that regard. You do see one little tiny mark like right there. I don't think that's... I just think that's from the bottom of the boat itself. I don't think it's from... It could be because the table shaking too, but I don't see a lot of ghost. I don't see a lot of ghosting on anything. At least right now on this print, I don't. Quality-wise, it looks fairly good. And again, this is 0.25 layer height, so this is actually a thicker layer line than what you normally would print with for a benchy. I'll call it a win. Honestly, I mean, this little section right here is has a little leftover piece there. I'd call this a successful benchy, and honestly, I'm a benchy connoisseur, and I deem this benchy a thumbs up. I like it, and it's a nice light yellow. I know it's not rainbow, but I wasn't expecting to get the whole rainbow in this one benchy. But we got a print off the Prusa XL, chat. We got this thing built. We got it finally done and built up. We got it test printing. We got all the things done with it. We got it calibrated. We fixed some issues along the way. We got a test print. And we got it working. That's the main thing. We got it working. FYI, idle is 21 to 30 watts. Preheating 1 to 4 bed tiles, 200 240 watts. 8 tiles, 450 480. Full bed, 500 550 watts. Printing once preheated, 1 to 4 bed tiles, 100 130. 8 is 190225. Full bed is 275 to 300 watts. Okay. And it's probably a good thing that they don't use it tries to conserve power in some spots when it's not using the entire bed. That's probably a good thing considering it has 2 power supplies on the back. So that's good to know. All right. Well, I think we've had a fun stream tonight, chat. We got this build series is now officially done. 5 parts. It's fantastic. But this was awesome. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. We got this benchy done. We're going to be doing more test printing on this machine come Thursday night. We're going to be going back over to Twitch on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want to continue to see what happens with this Prusa XL, hop on over to our Twitch channel. We do a lot of fun live streaming stuff over there. Similar environment, a little bit more crazy things go on over on Twitch. There's a link to our Twitch channel in the YouTube channel section somewhere. But go give me a follow over there if you guys are interested. And we'll be back over there on Thursday doing some more test printing. But chat, it's been a fun stream tonight. Thank you so much everyone for being here. Thank you everyone who donated through super chats or memberships. That's greatly appreciated. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. So thank you just for being here tonight, and as well for the entire 5-part build series. That is going to do it for me tonight. I think we're going to head on out. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thank you again. And take care. I'll see you guys again Thursday for those on Twitch. But we'll wrap things up here tonight. Have a great rest of your night. Take care. Let's keep printing XL things. And until next time, keep doing it big. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.